what's up, everybody? This is the new episode of Devin the Bear, and we do have some fights we're going to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about a fight that's unsanctioned. It happened in a gym between UFC fighter Sean Strickland and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist Orlando Sanchez.
Yeah.
And it was quite the altercation that didn't, without having to result in a real full-on brawl. But you had Sean Strickland, who's getting ready for a fight with Uriah Hall, and he's sparring with his group of guys, and he and Orlando Sanchez were just kind of talking back and forth with the other guys in the gym, and I guess Sanchez got a little insulted by Sean Strickland making the joke that he doesn't need to be in the gym, he doesn't need to be there. And if you don't know Orlando Sanchez, he is a big boy. He's thick boy. He's big and round, but he is as tough as they come. He's a pretty hefty guy, but he's amazing at jiu-jitsu. If he gets a hold of your limb, he'll tear it off with ease. And he and Sean Strickland were having a back and forth verbally, and then whenever they started actually like grappling or sparring with each other, they start to kind of wrestle a little bit, and they clinch up, and they're kind of pawing at each other's faces, and then Sean Strickland leaves his arm in there, which gives Sanchez kind of a arm crank, and he just whips his hips into it and torques on the elbow and hyperextends a little bit on Sean Strickland's arm, and he does this like punch to his face and then a spinning back fist, and then he teep kicks him in the gut, and it's just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, and then like it was really funny watching it go down, but
it's funny.
It is funny, but it's really fucked up what Orlando Sanchez did, just because it's like he's got a fight coming up, man. If you want to teach somebody how not to do it, you can at least like pause and be like, look, like this is the position I have. Because he's going for like this underhook under his arm, and so Orlando Sanchez would tie it up and pretty much like hook at the elbow and push with his like put all of his body weight into the push, and it can tear up your shoulder, it can fuck your elbow up, it can break your arm. I mean,
it'll hyperextend your elbow at least.
Yeah.
It's what John Jones did to Glover Teixeira. And whenever they were going at it, Sean Strickland doesn't like it, and he starts talking a lot of crap to Sanchez, and Sanchez is like, come on, bro, how is it dirty? Tell me how it was dirty. It's a submission. How is it dirty? It's a move. I'm not trying to do anything that's cheating. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's a submission. You wanted to spar, and now we're sparring. And so anyway, they go back into it, and he does the same thing, and Sean Strickland gets pissed off and ends up walking out.
And Jason Perillo was like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you saw what the fuck happened. You're literally watching them go back and forth. Like, I don't think Sean Strickland wants to spar with that guy. Like, we're just roll with him. He doesn't want to grapple with him. He's like, fuck that. He's gonna try to hurt me. I have a fight coming up. Like, that's a dick move to try to hurt me if I have a fight coming up.
Yeah, it's one thing to give a guy some tough sparring matches, but it's another thing to overdo it and kind of have a lot of like force in the different things you do. So if you end up just kind of overdoing it, you're going to end up hurting the guy, and that's really bad sparring etiquette. Nobody likes that, especially when you're, like you said, when you're going into a fight. So he's going against someone like Uriah Hall. He needs to be very smart with what he does. As we've seen, if you do something against Uriah Hall, you could break yourself on him.
Yeah, or he breaks you.
Yeah. So with that, there's a lot of other matchups that have happened.
One of the things Orlando Sanchez told him right after he did that, he's like, well, you said I didn't belong here.
Yeah.
You said I didn't belong to be in here. And Sean Strickland was like, I was just talking shit. Like, we were fucking around the whole time. Which, I mean, hopefully they get that figured out.
They got a little personal. I will say, I don't know how often Strickland and Sanchez spar together, but I don't think it's very often.
No.
And if it is, it won't be anymore.
Yeah, no, they're going to avoid each other at all costs, and I think it's best.
Yeah. Unless they get a big fight going in the gym. Have people pay to come see it.
I pay to see it.
But yeah, there's been a lot of really good matchups that have been made. A couple of them are like Angela Hill is going against Tisha Torres now. So Angela Hill finally got her fight set up.
Yep.
since the one with Amanda Hebos kept falling through. I don't know how that fight's gonna go. I definitely see a decision happening though.
Yeah.
Tisha Torres is very good in the clinch, very good with her wrestling. Angela Hill, pretty good, pretty well rounded. But I see both of them having trouble getting the job done. So I think that fight will go to decision.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's a good fight for Angela Hill. I think if she wins this fight, she'll finally break into the top 10. And I think where she's at in her career, she needs it. And Tisha Torres, she's been on a little bit of a losing streak. And so it's definitely going to see what happens. But, I mean, I think it's finally cool to see Angela Hill finally step back into the ring, because she's been waiting around for Amanda Hebos, who was having issues with the COVID-related symptoms and stuff. So... well, hopefully we'll see her back. I mean, I'm not sure when the fight is happening, but the fight has been made official, though. And so another good fight that actually got booked I'm excited for is Vicente Luque is taking on Michael Chiesa.
That one's really exciting.
It's happening the UFC 265 card.
I feel like that fight's going to be dictated on whoever keeps it in their zone. If it goes to the ground, I mean, Luque's got great submission. He's got great ground game, but Case is on another level, I think, than Luque is. But if it stays standing, I don't see Chiesa being able to keep up with Luque.
I don't think so either. And that's where the thing is like, does Chiesa want to take him down and have to fight against another high-level jiu-jitsu guy, or stand up with him? But I think Vicente Luque has the better stand-up.
For sure. I think Chiesa's got the better ground game, though.
Yeah.
Any time he's gone to the ground, he wins the fight. The only time it didn't happen, Kevin Lee. But that one was kind of weird, and I think they need to run that one back.
Yeah.
He didn't tap, and then the ref stopped it.
Yeah, and
no one knows what was going on.
Yeah, and all fucking referees just stopped the fight too early. It was Mario Yamasaki who just like goes in there and lets these guys be warriors and fucking die. And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think in that fight with him and Kevin Lee, though, I think Chiesa would have went out. Eventually.
It was looking like it, but Chiesa was real quick to get pissed off, and it wasn't one of those like he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. As
soon as it happened, he was like, wait, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm perfectly fine. I'm just waiting for him to stop. So I don't know. Yamasaki could have went and checked his arm, seen what was up. Yeah. I'm sure Chiesa would have been like, no, I'm good. Go away. Yeah. But anyway, I think Chiesa and Luque is a great matchup. Another one is going to be Raufeon Stots and Magomedov. That one I think is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Raufeon Stots is he's from Texas. He's from Houston, and I think he's going to make a big splash. I really do. But he's got a tough test now. Magomed is good.
Yeah.
So nice they named him twice. I think he's another one of the Eastern European wrestlers, but he's also got heavy hands. Mm-hmm. So it's not an easy test for Stotts, but pulling for the Houston boy. Yeah. Always.
That's what it's going to be definitely a good one. One fight that I'm excited for on paper, but I also know it's probably going to be kind of a boring fight, is Askar Askarov taking on Alex Perez.
Yeah. Alex Perez is fun to watch, I think, but Askar is good.
Yeah, he's really good. And I think whoever wins this fight is going to be fighting Bryan Moreno for the title.
I would assume so as well, and I feel like it's going to be Askar.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a dominant performance by him, just because time and time again that's what he's done.
Yeah.
So it's hard to go against that when that's all we've seen from him. If it's Alex Perez and Brandon Moreno, I think that's a really fun fight.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool. Brandon Moreno is going to, if they have the trilogy fight with Figueiredo, we'll see what happens. But I think if they move on from that, I think you see Brandon Moreno in a lot of fun fights, unless he has to fight Askar. If he has to fight Askar, it's...
I think it's going to be his only non-exciting fight, though, like you said. I agree 100%, just because he's going to have to work on his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. And Askar Askarov is really good, but just his finish rate is to where it's like, okay, I get it, you're dominating fighters, and this is what I said before, is like you're dominating fighters, but you're not finishing the fight when you can, you know. And Alex Perez is going to be bouncing back from his loss to Davison Figueiredo for the title. So he's coming in and he has something to prove as well, though. You know, hey, no, like I'm ranked number 4, but I should still be fighting for that title. You know,
especially now that it's a new champion.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a champion switch, title change, the guys that just recently lost to the previous champion kind of get to put their names right back in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool for him. But I think Brandon's gonna have a fun title reign.
I think so too.
I think he keeps it. Again, unless he fights Askar, that's gonna be a tough one. It's hard to say Askar's not gonna win when that's what he's gone in and done every single freaking time.
You see him and Adesanya at the photo shoot after the fights, they get eating pizza together.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, man, Brandon's a cool dude.
And they got Marlon Moraes is taking on Merab
Dvalishvili.
Yep. As
much as I hate to say it, I think that's another boring fight.
I think so too. But because Merab has shown he has stand up, and he mixes his takedowns well with his boxing. But
Marlon Moraes isn't gonna sit there and let that happen.
No. And Marlon Moraes is, I mean, he always starts off strong, but he doesn't ever do anything after he starts off, though. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue too. Is like, you know, where Marlon Moraes is at, he needs this win if they fight, and he's fighting a tough fucking guy. And he absolutely needs this win if he's going to go in there and do that. And it's just really going to be will he be able to work against the takedowns and do that? I know he has pretty decent takedown defense, but he gasses out. Merab is going all day, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't stop.
Yeah. And, I mean, I see that fight going to decision, though. I don't think he finishes Marlon Moraes.
Yeah.
He has a lot of decision wins. His win streak is on right now. He hasn't stopped anybody since.
I could see Marlon Moraes getting a submission from the bottom.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
And so that's what I would like to see it. You know, somebody actually threaten this high-level wrestler and actually just force him to have to just stand up. And then that's when it's like, okay, that's Marlon Moraes' fight.
The thing with this new style of wrestling that's been coming in is the handcuff behind the back and locking up the legs.
Yeah.
People can't do anything against that. But I think once people figure out, like, hey, if you start positioning different, if you stop holding yourself up in these angles, they can't get that.
Yeah.
So eventually someone's going to break it, and we'll see. For now, the last matchup we'll talk about is going to be a pretty exciting one, I think. Curtis Blades and Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
Yep.
I think that's a good matchup to make.
Classic striker versus grappler.
Yeah. And I think Rozenstruik can keep things going.
Yeah.
Because he's shown that he can knock you out at any moment. And Curtis Blades has shown that he can get knocked out at any moment because he's so predictable. He's so good at what he does, but he's predictable. Mm-hmm. So I see that fight going to second or third round, and then Rozenstruik getting the knockout.
Every time I think of Curtis Blades now, I think about that guy that called him. I was like, you got knocked the fuck out, boy.
That was so funny,
dude. It was super fucked up, but it's really funny.
It's hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, well, the thing with Curtis Blades is, like, I think he's a good fighter, but he talks a bunch of shit, and then he goes in there, he'll just lay on top of you for 3 to 5 rounds. He did it to Alexander Volkov, and it's like
that one was real bad.
He had said, he's like, I'm gonna finish him, like, this is my fight, this and that, and he goes out there and he does that.
He sits in guard.
Yeah, like, and then he goes in and fights Derek Lewis, and he was getting the better of the fight. Like, he was getting the better of the stand up, and he was mixing up his takedowns pretty well. But
Derek was just waiting for it,
and then he fucking went in there, just very obvious, just went for that takedown, and then fucking what's his name just threw everything. And Derek Lewis just threw everything into the uppercut.
Yeah,
and then I was like, man,
stiffened him up, got starched.
Yeah,
and that was it.
I think the way that Rozenstruik fights, I think it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do feel like it goes a little longer because I do think Curtis will get a takedown or two in the first round.
Yeah.
But after that, I think Rozenstruik's gonna figure it out and he'll be all right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the PFL 5. In the prelims, we got a couple familiar names. You have Tom Lawler, who has announced that this will be his final MMA run. after this season of PFL, he's going to retire, and he's going to probably stick to pro wrestling. So that's pretty cool, pretty sad.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cool to see him compete in PFL. He's going to be fighting in the light heavyweight. And then as far as the main card, we're going to have Vinny Magalhães fighting Antonio Carlos Jr. And I feel like that fight could easily be exciting, or it could be not exciting whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's all going to be I think, in my opinion, it's what Vinny Magalhães shows up. Do we get the amazing grappler with the incredible jiu-jitsu who puts people away real fast with his submissions, or do we get the guy who seems to overthink things and then ends up getting grinded out into a decision because he never really was in the fight mentally?
Yeah. I recently watched his match of Vinny Magalhães' match against Craig Jones.
Yeah.
When Craig Jones just twisted the fuck out of his ankle when
Craig
he did
Jones,
tap.
man.
I mean, it was just
that dude's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
I often, whenever I have to think about it, whenever it's him and then like Paul Craig is fighting, my first thought is jiu-jitsu, because both of them are such great jiu-jitsu guys.
Yeah.
And then I have to like distinguish which one is which in my head, because they're both so good at jiu-jitsu and just happen to have Craig in their name.
I saw this YouTube comment, and this shit said it was whenever Paul Craig told Jamal Hill, he's like, "You have some nasty ass breath," and Jamal Hill said, I got some nasty ass hands too." Someone was like, "Yeah, you got a nasty ass arm too," and I was like, "Fuck, man." But yeah, I mean, it just depends on what shows up with that. Antonio Carlos Jr. Yeah. He had a pretty decent UFC run. A lot of the people that he was losing to, I mean, they're top guys. You know, he just I think when they finally decided to push him to fight and, you know, build up his stock, he couldn't hang with those top guys. But him coming to the PFL, I don't think it's a bad move for him at all. But I mean, you have Vinny Magalhães, who just has the experience, who has shown that he's grown as a fighter as well, though. I mean, he's not just jiu-jitsu, even though, I mean, you don't ever want to go to the ground against that fucking guy, though.
And the thing with that fight is it's going to go to the ground.
Yeah.
But what's cool with that fight is I think Antonio Carlos Jr. doesn't mind taking it to the ground. I think he is confident with reason to take it to the ground, even though it's Vinny Magalhães. If Magalhães isn't there mentally, he's not going to win. Yeah. But if he is, I don't see him not winning that fight. The next fight is going to be Cesar Ferreira and Chris Camozzi. That one's going to be a good one, hopefully. Yeah. I think it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be fun to watch for probably the first couple minutes. I see Ferreira getting the knockout on Chris Camozzi, but I mean, Chris Camozzi's always in it.
Yeah. Ferreira's coming off of a 37-second knockout against Nick Roerick. He knocked him out back in April in less than a minute. And it's like, you know, you look at what he's doing. This guy, he never really had a bad run in the UFC. He has wins over like Jack Hermanson, Nate Marquardt, Anthony Smith, like top guys. But he's also had losses some other guys as well. You know, he's lost to Jorge Masvidal, Sam Alvey, and Andrew Craig. CB Dollaway. He has a win over Andrew Craig. So he's been around the block. But then you have Chris Camozzi, just the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, you look at his last performance and he didn't look very good.
His last performance was very lackluster. I was really hoping that he would look good. I was really pulling for him.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't ever get anything going. So yeah, that's another fight I see. It's either going to be a slow fight or it's going to be real fast. But I'm leaning towards it's going to be real fast.
I think Cesar Ferreira is going to knock him out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Honestly. Or choke him out something. But I see Cesar's not going to let it get past the first round.
I don't think so either.
He won the Ultimate Fighter Brazil. I mean, he's been around, and I think he knows how good he is, and he wants to prove a point that, hey, that those couple losses I had in the UFC don't really mean anything. I'm a great fighter. And you have Chris Camozzi, who's been around for a while. I think it's nuts he's fighting a light heavyweight now.
Yeah.
See him now, it's like it's completely different than what I remembered you at. I remember him from the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't want to cut weight anymore.
No.
I don't blame him.
I don't either.
He's a big dude.
And so I'm trying to remember, what did he weigh in at whenever he fought at, was it for the Ultimate Fighter? What weight class? Was it middleweight? I want to say he was on the same season as Court McGee, the Liddell season, right?
I was thinking it was middleweight, and he's pretty lean. Not so much anymore.
No, he's thick.
And then you have Dan Spawn. That fight I feel like is going to be. Or I'm sorry. Dan Spawn is going to be fighting Emiliano Sordi. That fight I feel like is going to be another one where it's just one guy's going to get outclassed. I like Dan Spawn a lot, but I don't think that he gets the win. Emiliano Sordi is good. And I don't think Dan Spawn is as good as him.
No, I don't think so either. And I think Sordi's coming up, and this is just kind of what he's going to do. He's going to go, because with the PFL, it's weird because you have guys who are really good that are coming up, and you have guys who are on their way out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Dan Spawn, just looking at his record and kind of doing some research on him, it's like I don't think he's able to keep up with a young guy like Sordi. And so I think he's going to go in there and get outclassed by somebody else, but hey, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah. And then the co-main event is going to be Ray Cooper against Nikolai Alexakin. And I don't see that fight going past the first round.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it goes
Ray
to
Cooper
decision.
gets the knockout.
I think it goes to decision, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it's either going to be Ray Cooper by knockout or Nikolai by decision. But
Cooper has submissions, though.
He does.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to want to stay off the ground.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
See a last name like that, get the fuck, just keep your distance, honestly.
So that's what I'm saying. I think Ray Cooper's so fast with his hands. I think he gets a knockout.
Yeah, and I could see it definitely happening, but I think Alex, how do you say it? What's his first name?
Nikolai Alexakin.
I think Nikolai grinds him out to
Alexakin.
I think he takes him to a decision, though. I don't see him finishing Ray Cooper.
Yeah.
But I really like Ray Cooper, though. I do.
He's so fun.
He's fun to watch. He likes to go out there and he just likes to throw down. But yeah, I'm gonna go Nikolai for that one by decision.
Then we got Rory McDonald, Gleison Tebow, a couple former UFC veterans, Bellator veterans, and now they're in the PFL. I don't see how Gleison Tebow could win this fight other than a puncher's chance, just because he's such a heavy hitter when he can land.
That's Sarah versus GSP.
Yeah. Puncher's chance. We have we want GSP Matt Serra. We have Matt Serra GSP at home.
Yeah. This is what we're getting, but I think McDonald's gonna go in there and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think so too.
And Gleison Tebow, I'm surprised he's still fighting. I don't know how the fuck he's still fighting.
I don't know. And he's fighting at welterweight, which that makes more sense because if he was fighting at lightweight, I'd be like, dude, you gotta stop. You cannot keep cutting weight like that. And then he cuts like 60 pounds, and then the day of the fight, he puts back on like 40.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing. I don't know how he does it, but he makes it work, and he's always healthy. So now he's fighting at 170, so I think that makes a little bit more sense. But I just don't think he can handle Rory McDonald.
I don't think so either.
Rory McDonald has shown no signs of slowing down.
No, it's insane to watch him fight. Like I think about it, it's like this dude was like, he's 20 when he got in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
And he's like in his early 30s, and he's still just as good.
Yeah.
I wish he would have stayed in the UFC, but he was able to leave and make great money and still show he's at the top. You know.
I think he's much happier outside of the UFC.
I think so
the
too.
UFC it was constant competition for him for so long that he had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had been at the top of that division for a long time. His fight with Carlos Condit is so fun to go back and watch. I think that was like 2010. Mm-hmm. So I think Rory McDonald's gonna be all right, and I think he's gonna handle Gleison Tebow pretty quick.
I think he's gonna manhandle Gleison Tebow.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't see this fight. I can see maybe the second round. I see it going in the second round.
That's what I was thinking with McDonald's last fight, and then he got a submission in the first round pretty like within the first couple minutes. So I was like, yeah.
I think this time though he knocks out Gleison Tebow.
I don't think. I mean, if he went to the ground, he could handle himself against Tebow.
Yeah.
But I think his best bet is go ahead and finish him on the feet because you're so much longer and faster than him.
Some wild shit's gonna happen. Gleison Tebow's gonna get like a first round heel hook.
No, don't say that.
It's just gonna shock the world. And so there's a PFL fights that'll be coming on Thursday night, and looking forward to those. It's always kind of fun having fights in the middle of the week, honestly. Besides, yeah, it really is, because like sometimes I just hang out and I'll put them on and just put it on mute, and I'll just play video games that have going on a different monitor, and just hang out and do that. So, yeah.
We got UFC Vegas 29, which is going to see a lot of really, really fun names. Chaos Williams is one fun one that's going to be on the prelims. He needs to start stringing some wins together. He really, really does. He needs to get some wins, because I feel like he's very promising. Everybody wants to get behind him, but he just doesn't always get the win. So he's got to change some stuff up. You hope to see a different fighter. So that one will be hopefully going his way. As far as, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, I hope he gets it. But starting off the main card, we have Matt Brown and Diego Lima. That fight's obviously very exciting. Is this going to be Matt Brown's last fight?
I hope it is. Did he say anything about him retiring?
I don't know. I don't think so. But why do you hope it is?
I think Matt Brown should have retired on his last win. He said he was. Like, this is what happened. So Matt Brown retired.
He always says he's gonna retire though, but
no, but he like openly said this is like, it was a big deal. And I want to say his last win. He I forgot who was against. He went in there and he won, and he had made it very open. He's like, no, this is my last fight. Like, I'm retiring. And one of the things that Daniel Cormier told him was like, what happens is you retire, but when you retire on a win, you think you can still hang with these top guys, and so you really don't. So you're gonna come back. He's like, it happens. He's like, you retire on a win, you come back, and then after that, that's whenever you say you come back and you realize like, no, I should have stayed retired.
I don't know. I think he can hang with the top guys, but I don't think Lima's one of them. I don't think Lima's the guy he should be fighting.
Right.
That's a scary fight because Lima's good. But Matt Brown's also very good. He's very, very well-rounded in the striking game. So I think anything that Lima throws at him, he's going to be able to handle it just fine.
I don't think so.
I think he can. I mean, obviously, he can get knocked out. Lima can knock anybody out.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't think Matt Brown's ever going to look uncomfortable, or I don't think he's ever going to look behind in the fight. I think it's going to be a very good fight. And if someone gets knocked out, it's probably going to happen. Bless you.
Thank you.
It's probably going to happen. Someone's probably going to get knocked out in that fight.
I think Matt Brown gets knocked out. Miguel Baeza pieced him up really quick last time.
Yeah, Miguel Baeza is good.
Yeah. I mean, Diego Lima's good.
Diego Lima's real good, too. I'm just saying, like, some guys are real good. Yeah. I think Miguel Baeza is he's gonna be the real deal pretty soon.
Yeah.
And he's so long.
What's that?
He's so long.
Yeah, he's long.
Lima's not that long.
Lima's long as fuck, dude.
Not as long as Miguel Baeza.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Lima's pretty fucking tall for a welterweight.
Pull that up.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. So Lima is 6'2". He has a 75-inch reach. And then you have Miguel Baeza. Excuse me, I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
You're good. I didn't realize he was 6'2".
He's 6'2" also.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And he has a 74-inch reach. So
they're about the same.
Yeah, Diego has a.
Lima's got a 1-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, sucks, Matt Brown.
He's also younger though, but Miguel Baeza is only 28.
Yeah.
He's 28. He's young. He only has 2 losses, and he only has 1 loss. He was undefeated when he went and fought Ponzinibbio.
And Ponzinibbio, that was a really close fight.
Yeah.
I think Miguel Baeza landed the better shots.
Yeah.
He definitely landed the better shots, but he just didn't land as much. So Matt Brown, Diego Lima, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then again, I do think that like it's hard. You can't really do it's hard to do MMA math, but it's also hard to compare fighters because Diego Lima and Miguel Baeza fight completely different.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe that's why I don't think Diego Lima's as long as he is because he doesn't fight long, and Baeza does.
I don't know why he doesn't, but Miguel Baeza, he fights long, but he also he pushes for the finish though.
Yeah. Well, Lima does too.
Yeah, I mean he's had a couple. His past couple wins have been by decision, but I mean.
We fight at that level for so long, like it gets hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
So That'll be an interesting matchup. Like I said, I don't think that one's anything short of exciting. I don't know that this is what I believe is going to happen, but I want Matt Brown by knockout.
I would like to see Matt Brown win. If he wins, I want to see him retire, though.
Give us a nice combo that ends with a head kick knockout.
Yeah.
And then retire.
And then be like...
on Diego Lima? That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. And then I'll be like, we will just completely ignore that Donald Cerrone knockout. Like...
Yeah. Forget all that.
Yeah. He was winning that fight, too. That was fucked up until he got knocked out.
I don't care. Matt Brown... his name is the Immortal, but I think he will be immortalized by that elbow knockout of Diego Sanchez.
Diego Sanchez, when he fucking killed him for like 2 seconds.
He reared back on that elbow so bad and just blew his head off with it. That was so dirty.
Yeah.
I love that one.
It was a dirty-ass knockout. He also has really good submission ones, too.
The next fight I'm very happy about. One of the fighters, anyway. You have Bruno Silva, who just is coming off a knockout win that it didn't get talked about as much as I thought it would. And then he's fighting Wellington Turman.
Beef Wellington Turman.
Beef Wellington, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that really his fight name?
I wish.
I was about to say, man, that's so cool. He should definitely be calling himself that.
Nah, man, he's a douchebag. His name's The Prodigy.
Oh, my God.
Fuck,
what do you
he's from Brazil. I don't think he knows what Beef Wellington is.
Why would he know what Beef Wellington is?
Well, because he's gonna go by Beef Wellington Turman.
Well, where's he from in Brazil? Hold on. If he's from like favelas,
I don't think they eat Beef Wellington in Brazil.
Well, I've never eaten Beef Wellington in my life, but I know what it is.
I want to try Beef Wellington.
I want to make it.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It looks so nice. The bread is so flaky and nice.
It's like a pastry dough around like a fucking steak, like a nice cut steak.
Yeah, man.
I like mushrooms, and it's got like a nice mushroom paste on it. I don't know how I feel about the English mustard wrapped around. You got to paint the fucking thing with it.
This is foreshadowing our culinary podcast pretty soon.
But yeah, I mean, we'll do a Christmas special. We'll cook a Beef Wellington. We'll do a live stream.
But yeah,
he's from Curitiba.
Curitiba?
Yeah.
Okay. No, he might know. He might. Anderson's brought that place a little bit.
I mean,
I
don't think they eat Beef Wellington over there.
No, but again, they don't eat Beef Wellington in Pasadena, Texas.
Yeah, you got a point.
You know?
Wish they did.
Anybody had Beef Wellington, let us know.
And please, use the fucking comments, man. What's it called?
For the love of God.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. What's it called? We tell people all the time, use the comments on our YouTube.
If you listen on Spotify, find us on Instagram. Let us know what you think, or comment on YouTube. You know,
PM us, talk some shit.
Yeah, tell us stop being so stupid. Tell us you don't like our voices. Tell us you don't like us. That's fine. Do that. Yeah, I'll fight them.
Yeah. So
if you're listening, anyone, and you know us, show up, pull up.
That's fine. Set up like a Street Beefs thing. No.
I did think about it. But anyway, Wellington Turman, Bruno Silva. I think Bruno Silva gets the knockout just because I'm still hyped up about that last knockout he got.
Knockout?
He was on the prelims of one of the last cards recently. I don't know. I don't remember if he got knockout of the night. I kind of think that he did. Let me see if I can remember. Victor Rodriguez. Mm-hmm. And that was May 22nd. So I'm hoping Bruno Silva by knockout.
Yeah.
Just because I want him to do well, because he was so fun to watch that night. And then moving on to one of the other fights.
I think Bruno Silva definitely has the power to knock out
Wellington.
Wellington, yeah.
He's got to go by something else, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Willie? I think he goes by Willie.
Not sure. Oh, fucking. I wish he went by Beef Wellington though.
He really should.
Especially because he's a light heavyweight. Like,
yeah.
It just makes sense. So.
But then we got Marlon Vera and Davey Grant. That fight I think is going to be pretty exciting.
It's a rematch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that one's going to come in and surprise some people. I think Davy Grant is good. I don't know. Marlon Vera, he always pulls off the win.
Yeah.
Against the better fighters.
And I think he needs to come in and get this win as well. He finally got a challenge in Jose Aldo, and he didn't really pull off the win with that one. I was kind of disappointed with Jose Aldo's performance in that fight, though, because he kind of the entire third round was him just kind of threatening with the standing rear naked choke, and he didn't really do anything with it, though.
Yeah.
And so Marlon Vera, I mean, I think he was riding a lot of hype after he beat Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
He's riding a lot of hype, but then he comes in and he loses to Jose Aldo, which I think set him back. And so with his fight against David Grant, I think this is gonna I personally think this is gonna be fight of the night.
That's what I'm saying. I like that one's gonna surprise everybody, and that's gonna take a lot of attention.
Yeah, and I think he's fighting in a rematch against David Grant won the first one, and with this fight, it's like his chance to right his wrongs and to see kind of where things go with that.
And I like David Grant a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but I think Marlon Vera wins. Like I said, he does better when he has to rise to the occasion, I think. Whenever he's expecting to win, he doesn't do as well. I don't know if it's a mental thing and he gets a little too complacent when he fights, but I think that one's going to be good.
And so it's crazy to think that David Grant's been fighting in the UFC since like 2013.
Yeah.
So he lost to Chris Holdsworth in the Ultimate Fighter. But David Grant's been knocking people out, dude. His past two wins have been by knockout, just one punch knockouts, and I think that's insane to see, especially at bantamweight. And so with him going against Marlon Vera is tough though. I don't think he can knock out Marlon Vera. But then again, I mean, David Grant's just putting people to sleep right now. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see David Grant knocking him out, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. But I would like to see Marlon Vera pull off that upset win and finally beat a guy who's already beat him, you know?
Yeah. If David Grant wins, I'll be happy because I like David Grant. But if Marlon Vera wins, I won't be surprised either way with whoever wins. But if Marlon Vera wins, I think it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He's constantly keeping his name in the top guy's spot, but he's not always in that spot. So this is going to put him back in that spot if he gets that win. If David Grant wins, that kind of is starting to put him in that spot, which he's been trying to get to for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My choice on that fight, I really don't know. I just think it's going to be a fun fight.
I think so too, though. I'm really looking forward to this one.
If the Matt Brown-Diego Lima fight goes on for a while, I think that could be a fight of the night. But I feel like that's going to be a knockout in the first round. Someone's getting knocked out.
I think with the Matt Brown fight, though, if Diego Lima's willing to engage him, though, Diego Lima fights pretty long. He stays on the outside. And Matt Brown likes to get in your face. He likes to fight. And he's been in the UFC since, like, the late 2000s, man. I mean, that's what he does. And he just likes to throw down. But Diego Lima, I don't think, can handle that kind of style at the same time, you know?
If Diego Lima backs up into a cage, I think he's going to lose. That's Matt Brown's favorite place.
And I think it's gonna be the story of the fight.
Yeah.
Is that it's crazy to think Matt Brown, too, he fought the Ultimate Fighter, the Forrest Griffin versus Rampage season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had that really nasty knockout whenever that guy fucked with his dip can. He put lime juice in his dip.
He got so pissed.
And
he says, "You don't mess with a man's dip."
Yeah, especially a former heroin addict's dip. You do not mess with his fucking nicotine. But yeah, man. So for the next fight, though, it's a featherweight bout. You have Julian Erosa taking on Sung Woo Choi, and Julian Erosa, he's coming off of a knockout loss, I believe. Coming off of a knockout win he had a flying knee knockout on Nate Landwehr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a
big deal.
Yeah.
These are two that I actually haven't seen much on. I did see the Choi last name, and I got really excited because I thought it was Duho Choi. And I was like, oh, snap, I want to see him fight again. And it's not him. He doesn't fight till July, so I don't know.
Yeah, July 31st is when he's fighting again.
Flying knee knockout, I like to hear that.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
I think both these guys are definitely going to go at it. I think Julian Erosa is going to pull off the win, though.
Take your word for it.
So, yeah, I mean, he goes out there, he wants it. He wants the win. This is actually his second run in the UFC as well.
Yeah?
He's been in the UFC before, and when he was there, he went 1-3. He was on the Contender Series. He won by a head kick, and then after that, he lost 3 straight. He got knocked out twice, and he went to decision with Grant Dawson. So he fought one time on the regional circuit, and then he came back. And since he's came back, he knocked out Nate Landwehr, and he submitted Sean Woodson with a dart stroke. So he's finishing guys now. He's coming in and he's proving a point to do that. Then you have Sung, he's looking good. He's currently on a 2-fight win streak. But he only has 4 fights in the UFC right now, so he's still pretty fresh in the UFC. He's 2-2 right now. One of those losses are to Gavin Tucker.
Okay.
And Gavin Tucker submitted him. So, but I think Julian Rosa is gonna come. I think he has a point to prove, and he's just gonna. I don't think he's gonna walk through Sung, but I think he's gonna give Sung a really, really good fight as well, though.
Well, I always like to see different countries get represented well.
Yeah.
Just because I believe that mixed martial arts is one of the most diverse sports in the world without having to be a quad annual get-together of the countries. So just something that's going on year-round, and the amount of countries that get representation, I think it's awesome. So I'll be pulling for Choi, I think.
Yeah, I will too. And so for the co-main event of the night, this is a fight that I think you'd be excited.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, we got Sergey Spivak
and Alexei Olenek.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And so right now, though, I think Sergey's gonna take it for sure.
I'm kind of worried he's going to. I'm a big Alexei Olenek fan. It doesn't get any more fun than some giant ogre of a man who's like in his 40s putting people to sleep.
Yeah.
Bear hugging them on the ground till they go to sleep with an arm triangle. That's or a head and arm choke arm triangle. It's so fun to watch that to me.
Hey, dude, that dude Sergey though, he's one ugly motherfucker, man. He looks like Sloth from the Goonies. Like,
it's. I think it's not gonna be as exciting to like the casual MMA fan as you would think with a heavyweight fight with 2 guys who always get finishes. I don't think it's gonna be that exciting because Sergey likes to push and take you down and beat you up. You don't take down Alexei Olenek.
No.
That's just not a good move. So we've seen Alexei Olenek get pushed and punched from the outside, and that worked.
I had no idea that Alexei Olenek's been in the UFC since 2014.
Yeah, man.
He's been around for a while.
He's been doing it for a long time.
He has a win over Mirko Cro Cop.
Mm-hmm. He's got a win over a lot of names. It's kind of surprising. And most of them are either by decision or submission. But
75 pro fucking fights, dude.
Yeah, man.
Dude's a true veteran through and through. It's insane.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is he still rocks a mohawk.
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell style.
Who's that? Olenek?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He just before every fight he shaves it. It's not like the stripe mohawk, but it's kind of wider and it ends in like a point. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, he's awesome. I love watching Alexei Olenek fight. So I hope he gets the win. I hope he gets a submission win. And it's just like, yeah, guys, I'm not done. I don't care how old I am. I'm not done. Because every time he loses, they're like, oh, well, you got to think that's it for him.
Yeah. I mean, because he's got knocked out twice. He got knocked out by Derek Lewis. This is his last 2 losses. In the last 2 fights, just in general, were 2 losses. Derek Lewis knocked him out. And then after that, Chris Daukaus knocked him out.
Yeah. Which the Chris Daukaus fight, I was very surprised with. He just couldn't handle Chris Daukaus. I think Daukaus is that's one of the reasons I think Daukaus is moving up. Both of them, even they who lost recently? Was it Kyle Daukaus?
Yeah,
who lost?
Yeah, Kyle Daukaus. He lost to Phil Hawes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Even with that loss, I think both of them are going to keep moving up at some point. They're just going to be hard to stop. Both of those guys are so fun. But Olenek keeps it going, I think. Yeah. In this fight, I think he gets another win. Maybe he retires, but I think he keeps it going.
That's the thing too, though, is with Spivak's style, it plays in Olenek's favor.
Yeah,
but
because if it goes to the ground early, Olenek's going to be ready to go. They're going to be dry. He's not going to be able to slip out of Olenek's grip as easily.
Imagine he pulls off another Ezekiel choke. That's insane, dude. Because that's a choke that you need a gi for, and he pulls that off without a gi.
He pulls it off. He's done it several times.
Yeah.
I don't know how he makes this stuff happen, man.
I don't know. He's just
got real long arms, and he's a really big guy.
Yeah.
So I got Olenek by submission.
Really?
Second round, I guess.
I don't know, man. I think Spivak takes it to him. Spivak's coming up. He's looking good.
And, he's been coming up.
Yeah.
And then he goes back down.
Yeah.
And then he comes up again.
I think Olenek. I think his biological clock is catching up with him though, and I don't see Spivak finishing him though, but I see it going to decision.
Yeah.
Just because the way that Spivak, the way he finishes fights is he kind of just grinds you out, then he beats you up, and then they stop the fight. And I don't see that now working in Olenek's favor enough to where he's still in the fight, you know. So, but I would like to see Olenek actually pull off that win, though, get a submission win.
I hope so.
So
I'm predicting with my heart.
Yep.
And the headliner is going to be a real exciting one. It's Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, against Dan Ige. Both heavy hitters, both very fast. Great boxing. I don't see this one going to the ground, but if it did, I think Chan Sung Jung's got it.
Yeah. Dan Ige is looking good. He just won by a 20-second knockout. He knocked out Gavin Tucker. Quick as fuck. And then you have Chan Sung Jung, who he's slowing down a little bit. He's been fighting since the WEC. He's been around for a long time, and I think he is starting to slow down a bit. He looked very one-dimensional in his fight against Brian Ortega. I don't think he expected Brian Ortega to have the stand-up improved as much as he did in that fight. He was getting rocked a lot. I mean, shit. He was getting hit with a bunch of punches, a bunch of clean elbows. He got dropped in the second round. And Ige hits hard, man, but it's also one of those things where it's like Chan Sung Jung has always been a top-level fighter.
Yeah, for sure.
With Ige is coming up. I mean, his losses have only been to really good fighters. I mean, he has a loss to Calvin Kattar whenever they first got in the UFC. Well, excuse me, they weren't in the UFC. They were both kind of on the rise with their featherweight journey. And then you have Chan Sung Jung, who, I mean, he's looking good, but it's with his fight against Brian Ortega, it raised a lot of questions. It's like, okay, are you going to be able to keep competing at this level? You know, he's in his mid-30s now. I mean, he was coming off of some great wins, but I mean, his Brian Ortega fight just stood out to me a lot. That's like, okay, things were starting to catch up. You have Ige, who's 29, who's going in there and I mean, the guy's nickname's 50K because he's always coming in for a bonus. Either it's knockout or fight of the night. But, I mean, up until his fight with Calvin Kattar back in July of 2020, he was on a really good win streak. You know? So I think Ige pulls off the decision win. I don't think he finishes Chan Sung Jung, though. But I think it's going to be a great fight regardless.
Yeah, I think Ige's going to come in and be aggressive. But the way to beat Chan Sung Jung is to not be aggressive.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to play into Korean Zombie's favor, and I don't know if I want to say he gets the win because fights like that it's so hard to tell. But I'm just always pulling for him. I'm gonna keep predicting with my heart. Yeah. I'm gonna say Korean Zombie knockout.
Knockout. I could see it. Don't get me wrong. Like you said, he is really good at fighting aggressive fighters. He finds those openings really, really well.
In 2013, he had to join the military. Mm-hmm. He's South Korean, and that's part of the deal there.
I think it's like a 2-year mandatory.
Yeah. And so he came back in 2017, fought Yair Rodriguez and won. Yair Rodriguez was very aggressive, and
Wait, with the Yair Rodriguez?
I'm sorry, he lost. That was the really fun fight where he did the weird elbow, where he ducked down and threw the elbow. I don't know how to explain that.
He just he ducked down and he made his arm go his elbow. Instead of going forward, he threw it from the back. Like he was rushing in and
from the back over his head.
Yeah. He threw like a backwards elbow. I don't know.
It's hard
weird
to explain.
Yeah. I try to do that. Like after watching that, I can't get my arm that high. I don't know how the fuck he did it. But
he caught Chan Sung Jung real good with that. But he's very aggressive, and it pulled off. And then Chan Sung Jung, I think he made some improvements. He came back and he fought Moicano, who was very aggressive.
Yeah, he knocked him out.
He fought Edgar, who is always trying to be in your face. And these are just things you don't do with Chan Sung Jung. So, no. And then when he fought Brian Ortega pieced him up from the outside and ended up getting the win. So does Dan Ige go out there and be the aggressor and try to push the pace with a bit of a high risk, or does he fight smart? We'll have to see. I think that'll be the deciding factor in that fight. How
disciplined is he to actually say, I want to win this fight to boost my stock versus I want to just knock this guy out?
Yeah.
So
how dedicated are you to that nickname?
Yeah, 50K.
Yeah.
He's going to be somebody else's bonus check. Shit.
So, yeah, these are the cards we got throughout this week. Other than that Sean Strickland thing, man, MMA news is other than matchups as well. There's just not much to talk about. I think it's been a pretty chill time.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Weidman's walking around again. He's training again. So there's that. If you guys aren't keeping up with Chris Weidman, he's healthy. He's getting back to it.
Just hanging out.
No, he's training.
Oh, is he like, what's he doing? Like,
he's going to the gym and he's boxing and he's working some stuff. Yeah. You haven't seen it?
Working kicks?
Yeah.
Really?
You haven't seen it?
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary.
It is. He said he feels great though.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so happy I get to do this. Like, you guys don't know mentally the number it's done on me to not be able to do this. So now I'll get to come back and doing it this early. I'm so happy.
God, that's so scary. I mean, I would never want to throw a leg kick in my life again.
Yeah.
Like, did Anderson ever throw kicks after he
I was just thinking that. Did he throw leg kicks? And if he did, were they the same? I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
But no, Chris Weidman's looking happy, and he's back in the gym. He's doing stuff, you know?
Yeah. Fuck, man. Oh, yeah, other outside MMA, but more Muay Thai. Rebecca Irwin picked up another win this past.
Yep, Rebecca Irwin out of Heritage Muay Thai. Got a TKO win. Getting the belt. Heritage Muay Thai's got a lot going on.
They have a lot going on, man. They're doing great.
Yeah.
So cool.
They have a couple other people fighting here in the next couple weeks. I want to say it's Oliver Jimenez with a fight. That could be wrong.
Who's that?
I could be a fool. Oliver Jimenez.
I haven't kept up with it too much.
Well, there's going to be a couple fights coming up soon with them. There's a lot of stuff coming up out of there. We're going to have some surprise stuff coming from there as well.
Yeah.
In the next few weeks. That we'll be able to talk more about later. And anything else? Dan Hardy got a fight yet? That's what I want to know.
He's not coming back to like 2066, man.
That's all I care about.
So yeah, then when's that Triller fight card? I think that's this weekend, right? This is like, and this Triller fight card they're putting on is like actual boxers going in the ring. This isn't just people except for the guy that Vitor Belfort's fighting. Vitor Belfort is fighting.
That's right.
The real Tarzan. I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I heard he's a real Tarzan. Cool, I heard he's cool. Like
that's who he is.
He's like a reptile keeper over in Florida.
Yeah, Tarzan.
Yeah. And so
you see him running around with the monkeys. In the world.
And so
what is it? He was trying to find these people like him.
And so yeah. He just he's taking on the real Tarzan. I'm not sure what the man's real name is.
Two worlds, one family. These are songs from the Tarzan movie.
Oh really?
Jeez.
Fucking dude.
Phil Collins.
I don't listen to Phil Collins too much. What's that? So back to the fights.
If Vitor can look good, I think that'll be really cool. I don't know if I'd see it happening though.
No, I don't see it happening. I don't see that guy being conditioned enough
in
to
boxing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't see that guy being. Well, who's that? Vitor?
Yeah.
Well, the guy he's fighting is not a boxer.
Is he trained in boxing?
I don't know. So you're putting
Did you jump ropes with snakes?
That'd be cool. He's a wrestle. But actually, you should check out his YouTube page. Actually,
I probably will. If he's works with animals, I'll probably check it out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it actually is pretty cool what he does. And a lot of people say how wholesome he actually really is. Like he cares about what he does. He has a.
Let me look him up right now because I really think that sounds familiar. And yes, it is Oliver Jimenez with a fight on June 26th. By the way. Real Tarzan.
Yeah, I won't be paying for this card this time though. I'm not saying I'm gonna legally stream it.
Mike Holston. Is that who it is?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, that's his name.
He's pretty jacked.
Yeah, he is.
No, I think Vitor's gonna get knocked out.
Going 8 rounds, man.
Said he fought with a lion. This guy literally fought with a lion, and Vitor's supposed to fight this guy?
Yeah, Vitor Belfort is a lion. He's back on TRT. What the fuck?
Fought a lion. Literally. I don't care if Vitor, if it's TRT Tour. You're not a lion.
So, for some other fights, though, you have Andy Vinces taking on Joan O'Carroll. Joan O'Carroll's English fighter. And Andy Vinces, he's kind of coming up a little bit.
Yeah, this is the Triller fight card.
Yeah, and then you have Michael Hunter, who's coming off of a loss, taking on Mike Wilson. That's a fight. I'm kind of like weird that fight's. I don't know how I feel about that fight because, Mike Wilson's like fucking 40, dude, and you have what's his name? Yeah, he's like 40, and Michael Hunter's coming up pretty well. He has a pretty decent record, and so I also discovered some of these fighters just this past weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, let me go and place my PFL, not my PFL, my Verdict MMA bets.
Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but if you're on Triller, I'm not paying attention. Triller's just so willing to be a celebrity freak show that I find it hard to pay attention.
And that's why I'll give it to, like, the guys that they have fighting on this card.
They're real.
Like they're these are actual boxers. Like Michael Hunter, he's taking on Mike Wilson. Michael Hunter is a pro boxer and he has a pretty decent record as well.
Well, that's where I get frustrated. Is
He's 19-1. He has 1 loss and 1 draw.
That's where I get frustrated. Is you have real boxers on the same card as celebrities, and that's where the freak show part comes in. If you're nothing but celebrities fighting, awesome. That's exciting. Because who doesn't want to see that? Maybe get some more like prominent celebrities. I don't know. There's a YouTuber versus TikTok boxing card recently.
Oh yeah.
I didn't pay any attention. I didn't look into it. I still haven't looked into it, and I don't plan to. But I will say that's exciting. That's cool because even though it's a bunch of people who don't know how to box, at least it's sticking to that.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not claiming to be a real legitimate boxing event. That being said, Aaron Carter boxed Lamar Odom.
Oh yeah. Last Friday.
And he got knocked out. It was expected.
Yeah.
But I know Aaron Carter worked hard to get ready for this. I was actually paying attention to that. It was weird.
I never knew it was happening until you told me about it.
Yeah. He's covered in tattoos now, Aaron Carter.
Mm-hmm. The fuck does he have on his chest?
Oh, I don't know what they are. I just know he's covered in tattoos now.
I didn't even know that was Aaron Carter he was fighting. I was like, who the fuck is this crackhead they put in the ring with him?
Yeah, man, it's Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
What songs did he do? The I Want Candy? That was him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
So long ago. Now he's boxing freaking the giant Lamar Odom. Yeah. I don't know why, but it happened. Like shit too. Oh yeah, he's had some issues, so I'm not surprised he didn't look like a great boxer.
I'm just talking like his physique.
I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't look like a great boxer.
No,
and he's not. But again, it's just that it is what it is, and it stayed true to that. It didn't throw in some real boxers with some fake stuff. Or not, I say fake stuff, but I just mean they're not real boxers.
Yeah, it's advertised as celebrity boxing as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like when you like Triller tries to act like they're a legit boxing organization.
Yeah.
And it's like you're so close to being that, and then you headline a card with Jake Paul.
Yeah, and then
you Logan Paul. Oscar and it's like what is it? And Oscar De La Hoya. Your commentators are Snoop Dogg and Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, but it's not a comedy show.
After a while, it gets really old. If you're a fight fan, it gets old of watching just
I can only hear the word, oh, that's lit. I can only hear lit so freaking much.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Joe Rogan, Paul Felder, Dominic Cruz? Haha. That was a sick right hand. Freaking lit, bro. This fight's pretty lit. Can you imagine that? There's a reason they don't talk like that. Because it's stupid and unprofessional. So I can only watch so much of it.
Well, that's why I never liked having, even like when the UFC would do the Contender Series with Snoop Dogg, I never really cared for it because all Snoop Dogg did was just shit on the fighters.
Yeah.
And it was
and
like
that's because you don't do it. You don't understand what you're looking at.
And like I understand, like Snoop Dogg's a cool guy. I like his music. I think he's funny. Who
doesn't like Snoop Dogg?
And so like I like
There's
him.
no
but
hate
it's like,
towards Snoop Dogg. It's just
I don't like whenever this guy is shitting on fighters. Then it's like you don't even fight. Like these guys would kill you. I don't care if you killed somebody back in high school, which he did. But it's like I don't care about that. You don't go in there into these guys' territory and just shit on them. It's like Stephen A. Smith. I didn't like when Stephen A. Smith was doing it.
And he's just about gotten himself banned from ever working with MMA. Yeah. Because he just can't stop giving his opinions and then getting blasted for it and then getting upset that people are telling him he's wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna be working with MMA much.
I'm okay with that because
I am too.
When he said I remember the big thing that started it all was when he said Donald Cerrone quit against McGregor.
That was a really bad one. And then he said he doesn't like to watch women's fights because he doesn't want to see them get hurt. And it's like, okay,
yeah,
but they're fighters. They know what they're doing. They would hurt you.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Fuck that guy up.
And he doesn't claim that he can beat up a woman fighter or anything. I'm not saying
he does claim that he has hands though.
Yeah, he said, I know what I'm doing. I'm an athlete. I do this for a living. I talk sports for a living.
Hey, bro, Dom Reyes was a fucking athlete, and we've seen what happened to him.
Yeah, but we also seen him look good against John Jones.
He did, yeah. And then,
and
a couple rounds he looked really good.
Yeah.
And then he lost that fight.
That's hard enough as it is, though, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a knock on him, but, I mean, just because you're an athletic guy doesn't always mean you're always going to come out on top. Yeah.
So for Stephen A. Smith to be trying to talk trash on these real fighters, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
So yeah, with stuff like Triller having legitimate boxers, I feel bad because they're real boxers. They're going out there. This is their career. This is what they do, and they're making a ton of money doing it. Good for them. I just can't get on board when you start throwing in like when Dana White's bringing on CM Punk. I wanted to believe CM Punk was ready to actually do something. Boy, was he not ready. Mike Jackson beat the freaking brakes off him.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to be ready for that fight either. I was like, man, I don't agree with this. You're closer to 40. I mean, I understand you do some jiu-jitsu on your free time, but there's levels to this shit, man. You can't just jump right in. And I mean, I don't know why Dana decided to give him the opportunity. He should have made that Contender Series fight on just put that on the Contender Series, and not even advertise it. But I remember I was ordering food.
I'm sorry. It was like the headliner, right? Or the co-headliner?
It was on the main card. There was guys who were fighting under CM Punk on that fight card, and it was like, why the fuck are they on the prelims?
Anyway, you were ordering food?
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was just ordering food to take home and watch these fights. And I remember I caught the CM Punk fight while I was waiting, and I was like, why the fuck did they make this on the main card?
Was I with you?
Maybe.
Because I was standing in line at a wing place watching that fight.
I think it was us.
Oh, man.
I don't know. But, I think it was. What's it called? Mike Jackson was just, throwing these, looping punches, fucking with them and stuff. Yeah.
The whole fight was just him making CM Punk look like the joke he was as an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Not hating on CM Punk. Just he went in there and he did it. Most people can't say that.
Yeah.
Most people aren't the level of fame CM Punk is, so they don't get that opportunity. But
yeah. Oh yeah, that's I bet you that because of that whole CM Punk thing is why Dana White won't sign other celebrities to come and fight.
And I don't blame him, but it's like he acts like, I would never do those sideshow things. You do it all the time.
Yeah.
You do it all the time. Brock Lesnar is a sideshow. Just because he's good at it doesn't make him less of a sideshow. Sideshow.
Sideshow.
Is that the right word? I'm saying it a lot now.
Circus show?
Anyway, we're going to get ready to end this one. We're getting weird. Thank you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Overcast, radio, whatever. Appreciate the support, everybody. We'll keep in touch.